Alberta, Canada 2011. The mine was never supposed to change history. In March of 2011, heavy machinery clawed through the oil sands near Fort McMurray, Alberta. The air smelled of wet earth and diesel. Steel teeth bit into ancient rock that had not seen sunlight in over 110 million years. Then the operator stopped. Something unusual lay in the exposed wall, an oddly patterned surface, textured and symmetrical. Not wood, not rock, armor. Within hours, paleontologist Donald Henderson from the Royal Tyrrell Museum arrived on site. What he saw made him fall silent. Emerging from the rock face was the front half of a dinosaur skin, impressions intact, thick armor plates locked together across its back, and something even more extraordinary, preserved pigmentation patterns. This was no ordinary fossil. This was Borealopelta markmitchelli, one of the most perfectly preserved armored dinosaurs ever discovered. It had died 110 million years ago, and somehow, impossibly, it still looked alive. But how? What force could preserve skin, keratin, and armor so completely? And what did its body reveal about survival in a world ruled by giants? To answer that, we must travel back far beyond ice and oil sands to a time when Alberta was not frozen earth, but a warm coastal wilderness at the edge of a vast inland sea. Time travel 110 million years ago. Now imagine, the land that will one day become Canada is humid and green. Thick conifer forests stretch toward a shallow inland sea called the Western Interior Seaway. The air is heavy with moisture. Ferns blanket the forest floor. Dragonflies the size of hawks hum over slow-moving rivers. The sun rises through mist, and beneath towering trees, something massive stirs. The armored titan. She moves slowly, but not weakly. Borealopelta, 5.5 meters long, nearly 1.3 tons in weight. A living fortress. Her back is covered in osteoderms, bony plates embedded in thick skin. Along her shoulders rise massive spikes, curved and sharpened by evolution. Keratin sheaths coat each spike, making them even longer and deadlier than bone alone. Her coloration is astonishing. Dark reddish-brown along her back, lighter under her belly, countershading, a camouflage strategy still used by deer and antelope today. Despite her armor, she hides, because even giants must fear something. She lowers her beaked mouth to crop low-growing ferns. Her jaws are not built for tearing flesh, they are made for grinding vegetation. Rows of leaf-shaped teeth shear plant matter efficiently. A large gut full of fermenting microbes helps break down tough fibers. She feeds constantly. Survival demands it. A distant vibration moves through the ground. She freezes. The forest quiets. Bird-like calls echo overhead primitive avian dinosaurs taking flight. A small dromaeosaur darts between trees. No threat to her, but nervous all the same. Then the tremor comes again. Heavy, measured, intentional. Through the trees emerges a predator, Acrocanthosaurus, 11 meters long, muscular, serrated teeth glinting. Its tall neural spines form a ridge along its back. Its yellow eyes lock on to the armored herbivore. The predator circles. Borealopelta does not run. She pivots, positions her spiked shoulders toward the threat, lowers her center of gravity. Her armor is not decoration, it is strategy. The Acrocanthosaurus lunges forward experimentally, too close. With shocking speed, Borealopelta swings her body sideways. Her massive shoulder spike slashes through the air. It doesn't pierce flesh, but it sends a message. The predator hesitates. Armor this thick would break teeth. A spike that size could tear muscle from bone. The risk outweighs the reward. After a tense standoff, the predator exhales sharply and steps back into shadow. The forest breathes again. Borealopelta survives not by aggression but by preparedness. The coastal edge. Days later, the sky darkens with a violent storm rolling inland from the sea. Rain lashes the forest. Rivers swell rapidly. The ground becomes unstable mud. Borealopelta continues feeding near a coastal plain, unaware of how close she is to danger. The storm intensifies. A section of saturated earth collapses. She slips. Her heavy body slides into a swollen river, armor dragging her downward. She struggles, legs pushing desperately, but the current is merciless. The river carries her out toward the inland sea. Her body sinks beneath the waves. There, something extraordinary happens. Instead of being scavenged and torn apart, her armored body settles intact on the seafloor. Fine sediment blankets her quickly, sealing her away from oxygen and decay. Minerals slowly replace tissue. Skin impressions remain. Even traces of original pigment molecules survive. For 110 million years, she rests undisturbed, until machines uncover her once more. Return to modern science. Back in Alberta, preparation of the fossil takes over 7,000 hours. Technicians use microscopic tools to expose every millimeter of armor. What they discover stuns the scientific world. Melanosomes, microscopic pigment structures, are still preserved. They confirm reddish coloration. Countershading proves Borealopelta relied on camouflage despite its armor. This changes assumptions about predator-prey relationships in the early Cretaceous. If such a heavily armored dinosaur needed camouflage, then predators like Acrocanthosaurus must have been even more formidable than previously believed. The fossil also reveals keratin sheaths on spikes, showing they were longer and sharper in life. Borealopelta becomes one of the best-preserved nodosaurids ever found. Not just bones, but skin, color, life. Deep beneath frozen ground, an armored guardian waited over 100 million years to tell her story. She reminds us that, even in a world of giants, survival belongs to the prepared. Science is not just about fossils, it is about patience, curiosity, and listening when ancient stone begins to speak. Somewhere beneath your feet right now, another story waits, another world sleeps, and one day it will rise again.